Well, out on a ledge again. This has been, of course, a political season that just doesn't seem to want to end. I'm Matt Towery for the internet news agency InsiderAdvantage and the Southern Political Report. It is Monday, and we are headed into the second Super Tuesday of the year. It's not a Tsunami Tuesday, but the massive Tuesday that will decide the Democratic race, whether it continues on or not. And we have a new InsiderAdvantage majority opinion poll of Texas, which throws everything upside down and runs contrary to virtually every other pollster. Our poll shows Hillary Clinton leading in Texas with 49% of the vote, Barack Obama at 44%, and the rest undecided. Now, I have to say a few things about this poll. First of all, Texas is really, believe it or not that hard to poll. That doesn't mean that we're going to get it right. We could be completely wrong. But there is a formula that everyone is using. How we're getting different results, I don't quite know. I think I have some theories as to it. Now, there are some other pollsters. A company called PPP, which is out of North Carolina, which is a Democratic pollster, released a poll today showing Clinton ahead by even more, and basically came out with the exact same numbers that we had. But most of the other pollsters have shown Obama leading, and over the weekend they said that the lead was growing. We didn't see that, and let me at least explain why we think Hillary Clinton will do much better in Texas than the other polls have shown, and we may be totally wrong here. So this is not, we're not going to brag if we win. We're not going to cry if we lose. This has been a tough one to deal with because Texas is a huge state. But let's just go over a few areas. First of all, many of the polls are now coming to meet a number that we've had for over a week, and that is around 60% of Hispanics in Texas say they are voting for Hillary Clinton. Now, you have to discount some of that Hispanic vote because the Hispanics in areas such as Dallas, Houston, and other areas don't tend to vote as heavily as they do down on the border. But we built that into our model. So we reduced the weighting for the Hispanic vote to take that into account. That would seemingly work against Senator Clinton. The second area, now this is an area of concern in our poll. We have 23% of African Americans going for Hillary Clinton. Most polls, including our own until recently, showed that African Americans were going about 80-something% for Barack Obama, and very few were going for Hillary Clinton. And this is an area of concern for me with regard to this poll, except for one thing. The undecided is now down to 4%, and it had been much higher in the polls up until this point. So I'm beginning to believe that there is some element of African American vote that is breaking for Hillary Clinton in this race, perhaps because Bill Clinton has been pounding away down there. I think maybe he's been able to bring back some African American voters. But let's assume for a moment that we are off on all of that. Let's go to whites in general in Texas. The white vote for Hillary Clinton has grown to 54, almost 55% to 38%. Now, whites make up about 45 to 46% of the vote in a Democratic primary. And generally speaking, we've also seen parity come up with independents, and I think that's where that telephone call in the middle of the night that we spoofed the other day has moved some folks back over to the Clinton column. Now, if you don't believe any of this, listen to this number. We also did a separate poll asking people if they had already voted, participated in early voting. Among early voters, Hillary Clinton led 55% to 43% for Barack Obama. 55 to 43. And we think most of this is being taken into account in our general poll, where we ask if the Democratic primary were held today, who would you vote for? Because we think most people have enough sense, even if they have already voted, they would say that they would vote for the candidate that they had voted for. But even if they have not, we do believe that early voting, contrary to what some people believe, has gone to the Clinton camp. Now, this is an interesting thing, and I'll close with this. The one thing that gives me some reason to believe that these numbers that we've had with Hillary Clinton, either from 1 to 4 points up in this race in Texas, might be the case, is, first of all, the Clintons have put on an unbelievable battle in Texas, even though Obama has been on television, I think, 2-1 in many areas. The second thing is, look at the other pollsters. Pollsters that had this race as a 7 to 8 to 9 point race just a matter of a few days ago, even last week, now have it as a 1 point race primarily for Obama. Now, that's a snapshot, and I'm not going to hold that against them, just like I hope they won't hold this against me, because their snapshot is the moment that they decide to cut off and say this is what the race is. And so, for example, Survey USA, who I have a lot of respect for, they have it Obama as 1. Well, they're stopping now, but there's the possibility the momentum may continue to shift. Rasmussen, again, a fine polling firm, they have it virtually even. I think they have it Obama +1. You get to Zogby, they have the race with a bigger margin. So all the pollsters are really up in the air on this. I think very torn. I would sort of feel more comfortable being on the Obama side of this thing if they're going to be awarding gold stars for being right. But the truth of the matter is, our numbers are what they are. We have confidence in them. And I think you're going to see a heck of a ride tomorrow night. By the way, I did say heck for that one person who didn't like me having used another version of that word or some word, and wrote to me and said that they didn't appreciate profanity on our broadcast. And by gosh, we're going to stick to that fine code. So with that, I won't say anything else except we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We'll see if this race keeps going on. And let's end with one last thing. Charlie Crist in Florida. I've talked about Florida over and over and over again. Now the governor of Florida says he would be willing to see a revote for the Democrats in Florida. It's not wild about paying for it, though. That's going to be a big issue, because if Clinton pulls off the miracle and wins Texas and Ohio tomorrow, Florida comes right back into the picture. It's critical to her having a chance of winning the nomination. I'm Matt Towery for the Insider Advantage Southern Political Report and the Internet News Agency team. Have a great day.